Yeah.
Então, minha família, sejam bem-vindos mais uma vez ao Bryce and Tim Show. Uhul! Episode
Woohoo!
3.
Bryce and Tim Show.
Hoje já preparamos alguns assuntos para ser debatidos nesse episódio. Mas, primeiro, só para dizer mais uma vez, esse podcast é para nós conversar mais em inglês do que português. Para vocês treinarem o ouvido em inglês. Queremos que vocês ouçam as palavras em inglês para um dia falar corretamente. Então, a gente vai debater alguns assuntos sobre a escola nos Estados Unidos, mas first subject of the day. We have a few listeners that are still in school, Bryce. I've gotten a lot of questions about what it's like, some stereotypical things they see in the movies, and what do you think about the truth behind movies and what you see in those scenes at high school, stuff like that, and how it compares to real life in the United States?
Well, first of all, what are movies? No, I'm just kidding. The the first thing that comes to mind whenever I think of school and movies is those early 2000s movies where it's all about the popular high school kid and how he dates this girl who's not so popular, and every single one of those movies are the same. Every single one of those that you watch, there's the jocks, there's the nerds, there's the uh you know whoever, all these different groups of people, and they all just seem to never go to class, and they're just always talking, and these kids just know everything, and they have all this access to so much um, money, and they just go out and they're always doing things, they're always partying. Anyways, so in a nutshell, that is American high school. It is 100% exactly right. There's nothing else that we need to discuss. Everything that you see in the movies is how it is. So, uh, no, but in reality, I mean, it is. Why would they make those movies like that? Because it's based off of truths. So even though it's not all true, which we'll talk about what is true and what isn't about the movies, a lot of it is true. So one of the biggest things that our friends have told us or they ask about is, you guys have lockers? Like, talk about, we want to know more about the lockers at school. And to us, that's something that we don't even think about because it's just like we've always had it ever since we were 6 years old. We have a locker and we go to school and we put our bag in our locker, and then we go to class. Keep whatever you want in your locker, it's a nice safe spot, and we just always have them. Almost the majority of every public school in America will have lockers here for you, and it's just an easy thing to use. But it is strange to us how in Brazil or different countries you don't have those things, and you don't have lockers, and we're just not used to that because it's so normal, because we go to school and we think, okay, I'm going to put my things in my locker and then I can get it out at the end of the day. What's your experience with lockers, Tim?
Yeah. Funny you talk about the lockers. I've actually had a friend visit me here in the United States from another country. And the first thing she asked about was high school and if we actually had those little lockers like she saw in the movies. And I was a new student at a high school. I was my first year in high school, which is called freshman, which basically means that you're fresh, you're new in high school. You're the first year. And anyway, I had to go do a tour of the high school to see where my classes were, how the school uh, was built, so I could navigate at the high school. And so I brought her with me because classes actually hadn't started yet. It was still during our summer break. So she was absolutely amazed, like she was living a real life movie. You had the lockers, the cafeteria. She almost wanted to do like High School Musical, jump up on the cafeteria tables and start singing whatever. Um, like Bryce was saying, the the scene, the imagery, those places that you see in the movies about high school in the United States, that's like 100% true. That's what high school looks like. That's what it feels like. You have all those rooms, the auditorium, the cafeteria, the lockers. Those are all accurate, but some things are exaggerated, like the behavior of everyone, how they're always going out to do stuff. Everyone has a bunch of money. Uh, so I've really thought it was really interesting how unique the schools are, I guess, in the United States. They have this image painted and everyone thinks it's like a dream.
Yeah, I'm
Wouldn't
gonna
you
go
think
ahead.
so?
I'm gonna share my screen really quick, and we'll see here. Um, I have images of American high schools, and this right here, you see the picture. That to me, it looks like a normal high school. But after after traveling and going to different countries and seeing how the schools are there, I we are so blessed. Like this is an average high school in the United States. You have the school, you have a
Yeah,
huge like track and field, a football field, baseball field, tennis. What else do they have here? It looks like they might have a swimming pool somewhere in there. You have a huge parking
looks like
lot.
they got like tennis courts. Yeah,
Yeah. You have a huge parking lot because all the students drive to school. They each have their own car. And it is just a completely different experience. And I think that's why you have intercambia, yeah? Like there's so many uh there's such a big desire to go and have that high school experience in the United States because the government here really does put a lot of money into the education system. And we are able to have these nice facilities like this because the government invests a lot into the younger generation. And so yeah, with school, there's a lot of opportunities that you can do. Um, a lot of different activities that you can get involved with and things that you can learn. So there's always a soccer team, a football team, which are two different things. Football, American football, and then soccer, baseball, tennis. There's track and field, so like running sports, lots of different sports, different clubs. There was a computer club where you can go and learn how to build websites and code. There are singing clubs like choir, which uh, Tim and I both were in, little choir boys, church boys. There's lots of different opportunities and different ways that you can get involved outside of going and learning math and history and different things like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Bringing back a lot of good memories of high school. You reminded me of all the extracurricular stuff that we used to do, participating in the clubs, choir, and a lot of sports, which is super interesting to see. Um, I noticed in other countries, they don't have organized sports like that on the high school level. We have, American football, and basically all the sports have their own high school team. They go competing regionally with other teams in the surrounding schools. But I was just thinking how this really contrasts to other schools that we've seen, like in Brazil. Obviously, uh, there's a different school economy here in the United States. They're way more funded. It's an interesting thing to see. But in Brazil, I was thinking about what the high school students go through, and there always is that interclass where they have a huge soccer tournament between the classes, which is something that I've never seen like in the United States, because nobody is that obsessed with soccer in the United States as they are in Brazil.
Yeah,
And it's really funny to see. If you're Brazilian, you grow up, you play soccer like every single day at school in the gymnasium outdoors that they have, and you participate in interclass. If you ever came to the United States, you could beat basically any high school level soccer player that they think they play really
well,
well.
no,
Any Brazilian would like crush them.
that's a big assumption that you're making there, Tim. You're like promising, oh, you're gonna be the best, but it probably is true. It's probably true. You probably will be. There is the most. That's funny that you say the about how organized it is. So you're gonna be on your school's team, and then every other school within like a 3 hour radius of traveling, you're gonna compete against. And so you're gonna compete against those other schools, and then there's a competition. So that's the regular season for the sport, and then once if you're the best in that area, then you're going to compete against the best people from the entire state of that, and you'll go to a competition and compete for the state championship. And in high school level, that's the highest that you can get, is winning that state championship in sports. So but talking about the organization of it in itself, the most organization uh that I can think of that I saw was just like a WhatsApp group chat of like, hey, everybody come to this field today. We're playing soccer. Vamos jogar futebol.
Yeah, dude. That's true, bro. That's true. Um, and maybe a question that you guys have watching this, if we ever participated in any sport like this. I never did. I wanted to. I actually wanted to play soccer. Did you ever do any sports in high school?
Yeah, I was on the soccer team for 1 year, but
Oh,
I was terrible.
sweet.
I'm terrible at it. So it's just, I just didn't see the point, because there was too many Brazilians that were coming and they were way better than us. So there's no point in playing. No, I worked a lot. I had a job. So after school, it's very common for American students, because you can start working here at 14 years old. So American students, a lot of times after school, they have a job, and they'll go work for 4 or 5 hours after school, and then you get home 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and then you wake up the next morning and do it all over again. And so I always had a job. I liked working. I liked to go and make money, than play sports. And so that's what I did, because I like to go and do stupid things, go out to eat, and oh, there's a concert. Some Justin Bieber's coming through town. Let's go to the Justin Bieber concert. And then I always had money to go do those fun things. So that's why I always chose to have a job other than sports. But the other thing is, like, we don't have uniforms in public schools. So you just show
Oh
up
yeah,
and
that's so true.
see, you can wear
I
whatever you
remember
want.
I visited a lot of yeah, yeah, yeah. I visited a lot of families in Brazil, and that kind of shocked me that everyone, when the kids went to school, they all put on their uniform, their t-shirt, and each school had their own little logo and all of that. But in the United States, we really only see that in like private schools where you have to wear a certain uniform. But the public school system, you can wear whatever you want, but they do have rules, obviously. You can't wear uh, images that convey like a bad meaning and all that stuff.
Correct. But like this, everybody's just dressed differently. So however I wake up, if I want to go to school in my pajamas, I can. As long as it's not like in my underwear, then I can go to school in my pajamas and I'm fine. But so everybody wears different
Yeah.
things. And I want to talk about High School Musical specifically because that's what a lot of people think of whenever they think American high schools. The school that they used in High School Musical is a real high school in the United States. They went and they asked, "Oh, hey, can we use your school?" But not I don't want to paint the false picture that every school looks like that because not every single school does. Different areas have different uh, funding levels for the school. So some schools are a little bit poorer, and other schools have nicer things. But for the most part, every school is pretty nice, and every school has their own locker that they give out to their students. So in High
Right.
School Musical, you think of Troy Bolton, uh, and he would run around with his girlfriend. What was her name? Uh,
Gabriella. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Gabrielle. Yeah, yeah. He would run around with her in the school, and they just never went to class. It seemed like, and they were just always out doing their own thing. If a teacher told them to do something, it didn't matter. They didn't need to do it. Um, all of that stuff does not happen. There's still levels of authority in high school in the United States. It's not like the students just do whatever they want all the time. You still have to go to class. You still have to do your homework. You still have to do all these things, follow the rules. The only thing that's the same is what it looks like, which is the organized sports, the different clubs, the hallways, the lockers, the desks. All of that is the same in our school systems.
Yes. Yeah, like you said, some schools are going to look different based on their funding. And in public school, you don't pay at all to go to school, but there are some schools where you pay, and it's a really nice place with with a lot of amenities and things like that. Like we had a buddy who finished high school out in Florida, where he paid to go to this private school, and it was just a really nice place. He went, he actually went to go play soccer for the school because he was pretty good. Aside from, despite being American, he was actually a good soccer player.
Yeah, yeah. Despite what you might think about American soccer players, he was one of the good ones. So, so hey, yeah, but yeah. So there are private schools that you can pay for to go to, and then they will have nicer facilities. But the public schools are all still very nice.
So we are all familiar with how High School Musical ends, right? They get to the last year in high school. they they finish up high school, um, and they have their huge graduation ceremony. Is that anything like the real world? Tell us about it, Bryce.
Yeah, it's actually like pretty accurate. It like everybody gets together. Um, there's a big audience, like all the friends and family of the students, and then somebody speaks at graduation, just how in High School Musical, the Troy, he gave a speech, and then the thing that isn't real is them all singing and dancing at the end. But the part where they take off their hats and everybody throws it up in the air, that iconic part, that you see in every single movie about American high school, that is true. Everybody does that. Every single school does that at every single graduation ceremony. And it really is I mean, thinking about it, it is pretty accurate. The movies that depict the high school experience, they just glamify it and make it bigger than it actually is and add all these, everybody breaks out into dance, the stuff that obviously doesn't happen that they put in the movies, but
Yeah.
the graduation ceremony itself, it is real. Uh, and then after graduation, they what schools will do is they have a thing called Project Grad for the graduates. And essentially, what it is it's a night set up by the school to distract the students on the night of their graduation so that they don't go out and drink, and there any like have any potential drunk driving incidents on the night of their graduation or anything like that. So they take all of the graduates and they'll lock them inside of the school for the entire night, essentially. But they'll have lots of different activities going. Some people will go to a different city and go on like a little one night trip, and then the school will take them back the next morning, and they'll go to like an amusement park or something like that overnight that
Yeah.
the school rents out for them. But there is a big event that happens. What did we do, Tim, for our project grad? I forget what it was.
Right. I do remember. It's just interesting that you talk about Project Grad because, like, obviously some bad things had to happen for the school for all schools in America to want to control the night of graduation so that students don't do anything wrong, like go to crazy parties, get drunk and stuff. But our Project Grad was actually pretty fun. It just reminds me though, just like this funny thought I have in my head. Around the time of graduation, I had bleached my hair, and I don't know, I kind of just didn't care about my look at all, my appearance. So graduation came around. I had on that hat and everything, and my hair was all bleached. And we went to Project Grad, which the school took us to kind of like a resort where they had all these activities where we could go bowling, play on go-karts and stuff. They got food for us and everything. And there was also like this virtual golf room, which was pretty cool. But it's just funny to think back on it because I loved bowling so much, and we were there all night. So I played for like 3 hours straight, and I eventually played by myself. And people were like, "Hey, where's Tim at?" They saw me bowling just by myself. Anyway, thinking back on that, I probably looked super like depressed because I had like bleached my hair. I wasn't talking to anybody. I was bowling by myself, but I
You're
was
just
just having
sitting there throwing
my
the
own good
bowling balls
time.
as hard as you could.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, you definitely were. You were super depressed. That is wild. Yeah, I forgot they took us to that spot, and there was so much to do there. There was a lot to do, but it is funny because every single school across America does it to prevent the students from going out and celebrating, partying, making stupid decisions that night. But you mentioned partying, and I thought American Pie, and I was thinking like the parties that they have in American Pie where everybody's in the house is full of people, and everybody has the iconic red Solo cups. That is 100% true. That happens here in the States. Those parties that you see where it's a house, everybody comes and is just in the house, it's full of people, and everybody has those red Solo cups. I wish I had one here. um I don't have the red Solo. Maybe I can just like put a picture right here. But everybody has cups, and they're it's true. That's accurate. If you've ever seen those films where it's like kids in high school in just like this big house, and there's a ton of people there, just all over the place, like even on the staircase. That's what happens, and I think it's an iconic thing to think, because I've talked to some Brazilians about this, and they say like, oh yeah, American parties, like it looks so much fun. It's different though, because it's coming from a weird place, because Brazilians party. It's not like they don't party. So it's just that it's a different atmosphere. It's in a house like this. The architecture is so different. It's just foreign. Like to me, it's like thinking, oh, I think it would be really, really cool to go to one of those big block parties like during Carnival, whenever the entire street is just full of people and they just have speakers everywhere just blasting. And to Americans, that's completely foreign. And we want to know more about that. We want to go be a part of that. And so with my experience with people that I've talked to, that's kind of been the same thing, is they want to know, oh, Americans, how do they party? And they watch it in the movies where everybody is just in the house, just full, the house is packed full of people. And that's how it is. But
No, yeah, that's totally true. People want to experience what they've seen in like the movies. What we've seen in videos is like Carnival, the streets are flooded. It's crazy. And the Brazilians have seen those house parties. I had some friends that saw this really funny music video, and they always imagine a house party being like that. There's a music video from a song called "The Hottest Girl in the Room," and it's pretty funny song, dude. You have to look it up and watch it. But I didn't ever hear about that song until a Brazilian guy told me about it while I was there, and it's an American song.
really, it's called The Hottest
And
Girl in the Room.
yeah,
Okay.
it's like it's supposed to be like making fun of like that type of music, but it ended up being like its own hit. It's really funny.
Oh,
Um, at the graduation, there are two very important people that are students who speak to the whole class that's graduating. You have the smartest guy and the president of the student body. In this case, we have you, Bryce, who was president of
dude,
the
I
of
forgot I did that.
the student
I was
council.
sitting here listening.
So
I was
you
I
gave a
totally forgot
speech
about
at
that.
our graduation, and you don't
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah, no, I don't remember. I forget. Well, I remember it now, but I forgot about it. And you were just going through explaining, and you're like, "We have two people that speak," and yeah. So you have the smartest one, and then you have the one who the people voted to go and hear. I was not the smartest one, but I did do that, and I completely forgot. And now you were sitting there explaining, and I was sitting here, I was like, "Who did speak at our graduation?" I was like, "Oh yeah, it was me." But yeah, I forgot I did that. So that was fun. I remember I was going through a period of my life where I was trying to put myself in uncomfortable situations every single day. And whenever I say that, I don't mean go up and say something stupid in front of the entire class just to be funny. I mean, I was extremely shy. I hated to talk to new people. I hated to do public speaking and put myself out there to be. I hated, like, I could not go up and talk to a girl to save my life. I was so shy whenever I was 14, 15 years old. And so one day I just snapped and I decided, okay, I'm going to do something every single day to get out of my comfort zone. And I did that for about 6 months. And then eventually I had the goal. I said, oh, I want to speak at graduation because I like getting out of my comfort zone and speaking in front of all those people. I think it might have been something like 7,000 people or something that were there that I spoke in front of. And
Yeah.
I got to that point and I was like, oh, I want to do that because I know that that's going to be something huge for me to get out of my comfort zone. So the way I had to go about it was run for student government and get elected as the class president. And so I had to go through like a whole election cycle for that. And this happens with every single class in every single school all across the United States. And that's just another program or curriculum that they offer, extracurricular, that you can get involved with and learn skills. And so through that, I was able to learn the skill of public speaking and how you should talk in front of people. And it was funny because my sense of humor is loud and it's kind of It can be a little inappropriate at times. And so I had to write the speech, and then I had to go and get it approved by the principal. And he sent me back 5 times. I had to rewrite the speech 5 times because he said, "No, this isn't good. This is too much. Oh, you got to change this. You got to change this." I'm not even joking. It was 5 times that I had to rewrite that speech until he finally allowed me to do it. And I feel like I got robbed. I feel like it could have been a lot better, but some of the stuff that I wanted to say, he didn't allow me to say. So we'll just keep it at that.
So I just found this speech, bro. I found it here on YouTube.
What? It's on YouTube?
Yeah, I found it in the our high school YouTube channel. This was the highlight of Bryce's life.
Anyway, so this is Bryce's best moment when he was speaking to our entire graduating class.
That is a fact. That alone
Oh, okay,
will make
okay.
up all the areas that we lack.
So reflecting on this, Bryce, what does this moment in your life mean to you? Speaking to your whole graduating class.
Well, I mean, the fact that I had completely forgotten that I did this, I don't know. I think that might say something. But no, it was cool. Unfortunately, though, because I did this, I am now responsible for each class reunion that is supposed to take place every single 5 years. Yeah,
Since
now,
we were sitting on the front row, so we went up and walked on the stage, which is a really cool part of the graduation. We were one of the first ones. So let me see here. Oh, there's me right there. Is that you or Cole?
that's me. Yeah, I was right. I think so. Those looks like
Yeah,
my
that's you.
shoes. Yeah.
Oh, that's me. So let me get my little diploma. Cool.
So that's the proof. I did do it. He wasn't joking. So yeah, because we don't fake anything on this channel. All of it is real. All of it is real. Yeah, that's our proof. Our proof that it happened. And that what we're talking about is real. The graduation, you saw that. I couldn't tell the difference between that and the High School Musical scene. So it's basically the same. It's basically the same, except we didn't get up and like sing and dance, unfortunately. But
Yeah, dude. I'm Troy Bolton and you're my black best friend. It's the same thing.
exactly, man.
We were talking about high school and clubs and sports and participating in those things at school, which unfortunately I didn't do a lot of because I was working all the time with my family, being a musician, traveling and all that stuff. It's a little bit different, a little bit different.
Womp womp. Nobody wants to hear your sob story, Sam. Nobody cares. Life of a musician is so hard. I'm always on the road.
I appreciate all the support from our fans that are helping this project grow. Thank you everybody for watching our videos. We're reaching some new milestones. Our most recent video just hit like 500 views
Yeah,
in a
something
very
like that.
short amount of time.
Yeah. So hopefully, we continue to grow, and we're just so happy to be doing this. And we don't just have this stuff where we talk on YouTube. We have a online community for you guys to speak with us one-on-one, and ask any questions that you might have, because obviously we don't answer every single question that you have about America, about the United States, in these episodes. So yeah, we want you guys to join that community and feel free to reach out to us there. And we have lots of videos, private videos for you there to watch and learn a little bit more, and improve your English, improve your speaking skills.
esse episódio foi muito bom, foi muito divertido hoje esse episódio. Muito obrigado por estar aqui conosco e a gente espera que você tenha aprendido um pouco mais sobre a escola nos Estados Unidos, que a gente confirmou todos os conceitos que vocês tinham sobre os Estados Unidos, o ensino médio, e que é completamente verdade. Tudo que você viu na televisão é verdade. Quase, quase. Com algumas
Quase,
exceções.
mas só um pouco.
Só um
A gente
pouquinho.
gosta de bailar aqui também. Valeu, gente. Tchau.
Valeu!